Some journeys begin not with a ticket but with a feeling. It's a quiet pull, a whisper that grows louder with every passing day, until you can't ignore it any longer. For me, that feeling was the call of the Carpathian Mountains, a longing to step into a world where myth and reality blur, and every shadow seems to hold a story. Romania was more than a destination. It was an invitation to explore a land steeped in legend, where the infamous Dracula myth is woven into the very fabric of its history. The Carpathians rise like ancient sentinels, guarding secrets that have inspired countless tales and imaginations for centuries. I wanted to see the place that inspired such enduring stories, to walk the same paths that once echoed with the footsteps of both real and imagined figures. The mist that clings to Bran Castle's walls seems to carry whispers from the past, inviting you to listen closely. My curiosity pushed me to go beyond vampires and discover the roots of the legend. I wanted to understand how history and folklore became so tightly entwined here, and what truths might be found beneath the surface. The anticipation built as I traced the winding roads of the Carpathian Mountains on maps, imagining the journey ahead. Each curve promised a new vista, a new mystery, and perhaps a new understanding of this enigmatic region. I pictured villages untouched by time where wooden houses stand as they have for generations, and traditions are passed down like precious heirlooms. The rhythm of daily life here feels slower, more connected to the land and its stories. This wasn't just a tourist trip, it was a quest to peel back layers of fiction and find the truth beneath. I wanted to experience the real Transylvania, to see how the people here live with the weight and the wonder of their legends. I aimed to experience Bran Castle as a living piece of history, not just a backdrop for spooky souvenirs. Every stone, every corridor seemed to hold echoes of the past, waiting to be uncovered by those willing to look beyond the surface. The Dracula connection drew me in, of course. How could it not? The legend is everywhere, from souvenirs to stories told by locals. But I knew there was more to discover than just the famous vampire. I was searching for the real people and stories behind the myth. I wanted to meet those who call this land home, to hear their tales and see how the legend shapes their lives and identities. The journey promised contrasts, wild, untamed landscapes and warm, welcoming people. The Carpathians are both a barrier and a bridge, connecting the past to the present, the legendary to the everyday. And at the heart of it all stands a castle that's both legend and reality, its silhouette etched against the sky, inviting travelers to step inside and become part of its story. I set off, fueled by curiosity and the promise of adventure, my mind racing with questions and my heart open to whatever I might find. I was ready to discover the soul of Transylvania, to let its stories shape my own journey, and to see how myth and reality coexist in this remarkable place. The road ahead was long, winding through forests and over misty peaks, but every mile brought me closer to the heart of the Carpathians. My spirit was high, and with every step, I felt the magic of the mountains growing stronger, guiding me onward into the unknown. Leaving Bucharest behind, the city's modern skyline gradually gave way to a patchwork of fields and distant hills. The hum of traffic faded, replaced by the gentle rhythm of rural life. As we drove further, the landscape seemed to breathe, opening up into a world where time moved differently, and every mile felt like a step back into history. Horse-drawn carts trundled along quiet roads, their wheels echoing through sleepy villages painted in soft pastels. Storks perched atop red-tiled chimneys, their nests a symbol of good fortune, while locals tended gardens and waved as we passed. Here, life unfolded at a gentler, more deliberate pace, untouched by the rush of the city. The air grew noticeably fresher, tinged with the scent of pine needles and damp earth. Sunlight filtered through the trees, casting shifting patterns on the forest floor. Each bend in the road revealed sweeping vistas, rolling foothills giving way to dense, ancient woodlands and the promise of adventure just beyond the horizon. As we approached the Carpathians, the gentle hills transformed into dramatic, jagged peaks. Mist clung to the slopes, swirling around the trees and rocks, lending the mountains an air of secrecy and wonder. The atmosphere thickened, charged with the kind of mystery that has inspired stories for centuries. These ancient mountains are home to wild bears and elusive wolves, creatures that have roamed these forests for generations. Their presence is felt in the silence between the trees and the distant calls echoing through the valleys. The Carpathians have shaped Romania's history, standing as both a barrier and a refuge, and have inspired countless legends and tales of the supernatural. The final stretch of the journey wound through dense, shadowy forests, where sunlight struggled to pierce the thick canopy overhead. The road twisted and turned, each kilometer building a sense of anticipation and excitement. It felt as though we were being drawn deeper into a world both real and imagined. We entered a landscape straight from the pages of Bram Stoker's novel, a place where fog drifts between ancient trees and every shadow hints at secrets. Here, myth and reality seem to blur, and the stories of vampires and haunted castles feel suddenly plausible. The journey itself became an immersion into Dracula's realm, each step and every glance out the window deepening the sense of wonder. The forest paths felt timeless, as if they had witnessed centuries of travelers, each with their own stories and fears. The mountains loomed above, their peaks shrouded in mist, as if guarding ancient secrets. Their sheer scale was both humbling and awe-inspiring, a reminder of nature's power and the enduring mysteries hidden within these wild lands. With each passing mile, the legend of Transylvania felt more tangible. The landscape outside the window seemed to whisper stories of old, drawing us ever closer to the heart of the myth. This was more than just a drive through the countryside, it was a journey into the heart of a story, a place where imagination and reality meet. And soon, through the trees and morning mist, I would catch my first glimpse of the legendary castle that started it all. A place where history and legend are forever entwined. Suddenly Bran Castle appeared, perched atop a sheer cliff, its ancient towers reaching defiantly into the sky. The first glimpse was breathtaking, as if the castle had been conjured from the very mists of legend. Its silhouette dominated the horizon, a stark reminder of centuries past, and I felt as though I was stepping into a storybook, one where myth and reality blur. It was more fortress than fairy tale, its thick stone walls scarred by the relentless passage of time, battered by storms and sieges. Each weathered stone seemed to whisper tales of battles fought and secrets kept. The fortress exuded a sense of resilience, standing strong against both nature and invaders, its scars a testament to its enduring spirit. The castle seemed to grow organically from the jagged rock, as if it had always belonged to this land. From its lofty perch it commanded the valley below, watching over the winding roads and the patchwork of fields. The view was both beautiful and intimidating, a reminder of the power once wielded from these heights. Below, the village bustled with daily life. Children laughing, market stalls opening, the aroma of fresh bread drifting through the air. Yet above it all the castle stood silent, shrouded in a veil of mist and mystery as if guarding its secrets from the world below. As I approached the entrance, my imagination ran wild. I pictured medieval visitors, travelers, nobles, and soldiers, pausing in awe and perhaps a little fear before its imposing gates. The heavy wooden doors, studded with iron, seemed to promise both protection and peril. From the ramparts, the strategic location became clear. The sweeping views stretched for miles, offering a vantage point to spot any approaching threat. It was a fortress built for defense, a stronghold that had witnessed countless chapters of Transylvanian history. Bran Castle is a masterpiece of military architecture, its towers and battlements designed for both beauty and strength. Every stone, every arrow slit, every winding stairway was crafted with purpose, making it a true guardian of the region's turbulent past. It's easy to see why Bram Stoker chose a place like this as inspiration for his novel, even if he never set foot here. The castle's dramatic silhouette, looming over the wild landscape, feels like the perfect setting for Gothic tales of darkness and intrigue. Inside, the castle embodies the Gothic spirit, shadows flicker along ancient corridors, secrets seem to linger in every corner, and the air is thick with romance and fear. It's a place where imagination runs wild, and every creak of the floorboards hints at stories untold. Bran Castle stands as a symbol of a wild, untamed land, a place where legends feel real, and the line between history and myth is forever blurred. The surrounding forests and mountains only add to its mystique, making it feel both isolated and eternal. Standing before it, I felt a deep connection to the past, a sense of awe that transcended the Dracula myth and touched something older, something elemental. The castle seemed to invite reflection, daring visitors to imagine the lives and legends that shaped its walls. This was a place alive with stories, each room echoing with the footsteps of those who came before. The artifacts and furnishings hinted at centuries of intrigue, love, betrayal, and hope, waiting for curious souls to uncover their secrets. With anticipation and reverence, I was ready to step inside and let the castle reveal its mysteries. Crossing into Bran Castle, The world outside faded, replaced by cool air and centuries-old silence. The courtyard was intimate, with whitewashed walls and red geraniums, more home than lair. Inside, narrow staircases and secret passages hinted at the castle's defensive past. Each room told a story, from guard rooms to Queen Marie's music room, filled with handcrafted beauty. The contrast between fortress and royal residence revealed the castle's human side. Looking out from her favorite room, I saw the same mountains she once loved. The castle was a vessel for memories, echoes of laughter, strategy, and daily life. Here, the past felt close, tangible, and deeply moving. You can't visit Bran Castle without confronting Dracula's legend. Stoker's novel made this fortress famous, though he never set foot here. His inspiration came from drawings and imagination. The real Vlad the Impaler, a brutal but heroic prince, had only a tenuous link to the castle. The Dracula myth has overshadowed the true history: Saxon builders, Hungarian kings, Romanian queens. Yet the castle's Gothic atmosphere fuels the legend, drawing millions each year. The myth has become part of the castle's identity, ensuring its preservation. In the end, Dracula's ghost lingers, but the real stories are just as compelling. Beyond Dracula, Bran Castle's heart belongs to Queen Marie of Romania. Gifted the castle in 1920, she transformed it from fortress to beloved home, filling it with Romanian art and warmth. Her spirit is everywhere, in the rooms, gardens, and even the chapel she built. The story of her heart, enshrined near the castle after her death, speaks to her deep love for this place. Queen Marie's legacy is a counterpoint to the dark myth, a story of vision, creativity, and affection. She turned the castle into a sanctuary, a place of light and family. Learning about her changed my view. This is as much her castle as Dracula's. Her story deserves to be told just as loudly. No journey is complete without tasting the local food, and Romania's cuisine is as rich as its history. In Bran's village market I sampled cheeses, smoked sausages, and homemade jams. Mamaliga, sarmale, and papanasi offered comfort and flavor, each bite telling a story of the land. Meals here are social, a time for sharing and connection. At a family-run restaurant, the owner shared recipes and stories, making the food even more meaningful. Romanian hospitality shone through, especially with a glass of tuica, the traditional plum brandy. The warmth of the people made every meal memorable. Food here is about tradition, community, and pride. The culinary journey deepened my understanding of the culture. To know Romania, you must share a meal with its people. Romania's true treasure is its people, warm, resilient, and deeply connected to their land. In the villages, life moves as it has for centuries: farmers in fields, shepherds on hills, artisans at work. I visited a woodcarver whose craft, passed down generations, preserves cultural identity. Folk traditions thrive in music, costume, and daily life, not just at festivals. The pride and hospitality I encountered were unforgettable. Despite dark legends, I found a place full of light and life. The soul of Romania is in its people, their creativity, resilience, and love for their home. That's the real story of Transylvania. As my journey ended, I looked back at Bran Castle. No longer just a legend, but a place of real history and heart. The Dracula myth opened the door, but what I found was richer: beauty, warmth, and complexity. Travel transforms stories into memories, challenges preconceptions, and reveals the world's wonders. I urge you to find your own adventure. Follow your curiosity, embrace the unknown, and create your own stories. The world is vast, full of hidden gems and remarkable people. Let curiosity guide you, and let each journey change you for the better. By supporting exploration, you help build bridges between cultures and celebrate our shared humanity. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Keep exploring, keep sharing, and keep the spirit of discovery alive. The world's stories are waiting. Go find them.